to Plymouth Motor Speedway to watch because our flight was Sunday, so we still got a little bit of racing action in last weekend, so we can't complain there. Did get ruined by thunderstorms. That came in quick. Very. But we are going to have on tap just our regular classes tonight, the late models, the front wheel drives, street stocks, and the modifieds. It's also Hall of Fame night, so we'll have some of that going on during intermission, and it should just be a good night of racing. Hopefully we have a lot of cars. Alright, well, we made it to the track. We have about half an hour till practice starts, and they're running us back to back again, so front wheel drives and then late models. So we'll see how that goes. We spent some time at the shop this morning getting my brakes bled, changing out my brake booster and the master cylinder and all kinds of stuff because my brakes are just not working right. So I got that figured out, got them bled, and now the pedal is good again, not going to the floor anymore. So hopefully that fixes the problem, and by the end of the night it's not going to the floor again. And we had to change a couple of studs on the Celica because they were like threaded or something, so the lug nuts weren't going on correctly. So all of that taken care of this morning. We made it to the track with plenty of time to spare. We have 10 cars that took a qualifying time. I'm third quick with the fastest lap that I put down in the season so far on the hatch. Dan Chandler is 7th quick. The car felt amazing my first session out. Now there's a little bit of stuff all over the track, so the handling kind of went away for the qualifying session, but I was able to pick it up still. So hopefully the track can go back to what it had been when we come to the race time, so I have a better feeling about the comfortability of the handling. That would be phenomenal. And the late models also went out, and we have 15 late models where Tony is 11th and Blake is 7th. Not really sure what's going on there. Not usual behavior for those cars to be so low. I don't know. So, but we do have pretty decent car counts in all of the classes, so hopefully we have a good night of racing and everybody can finish in one piece.
Between the number 58 and number 21 in the 88C. Coach, number 9, Brett Ireland, and number 3, Terry Bowers. Looks like Plymouth doing that green flag. Bring them back, line them up again one more time, and restart that again. 6 laps to go. Tony Dagger, 88 Braden Cook, Team 10 James Haslett, and Tommy Cook rocking the 0 tonight.
So we did our heat races. Cars are not handling right. I don't know. Mine's doing something weird when I hit the gas. I'm not really sure. But we're getting a little bit of a spitting out of the sky right now. I think the big chunk is going to miss us. It actually went south, so that's good. We do have a little rainbow forming here at the track. So hopefully it's just these little spits and we can get the show moving. We're doing the Hall of Fame introductions right now, so we have a little bit of an intermission anyways. late models off the track. Too many cautions. Back it up.
Looks like we got a... out there, please remain calm. Looks like we're seeing the navigator Randy Cook. All right, as they come around,
to end this video. Not really sure what happened at the end of the late model race. It was supposed to be like a green-white checkered. We only ever saw the white flag, so very confused.
I don't know if it was a time crunch or something. Or
they had lots of cautions, and
yes, they did.
It was a nightmare, to say the least. But Blake finished third, Tony fourth, with a broken distributor cap. So luckily that didn't hurt anything further. So we were able to get that fixed, everything like that. And our race, it was something, because you guys saw I checked in before that was raining, sprinkling, spitting, and that was during intermission, and our race was first up after that. I don't know, I watched Chandler's heat race back, and there's something wrong with that car. Completely was running just fine, and then all of a sudden just not handling right at all.
It was like I was driving on ice. It felt like the car was literally, I went into the corners and it was like I was just driving on ice. Like there was no control over it. And then we made some adjustments, took it to the feature, that didn't fix nothing. Changed a tire that we thought might have been really bald. Nope, didn't do nothing.
And then I got stuck behind him because I was trying to pass cleanly, because I have a problem with the hatch and not being able to pass people cleanly because it pushes so badly, and the track is just like freaking ice skates, and my brakes still are not correct in that car because I would hit them and then the car would just slide. So really over the hatch at this point, but it's what we have at this time, so whatever. But we're gonna have Tony take out the Celica in next week's video, so stay tuned.
See what he can figure
and
out.
see what he thinks, because we're not gonna change out the seat for me to test it. That'd be silly. Just have Tony get in it since he fits in it anyways. So hopefully we can figure something out for Chandler's car, and then hopefully can figure something out for my car, TBD. Yeah, that pretty much sums up this vlog. So if you did enjoy it, make sure you give me a big thumbs up, subscribe down below, hit the bell to get notified when I post, follow me on TikTok and Instagram. I'll see you guys all in next week's video. Peace.